Now try to imagine the moment. The first thing that doctors tell you about your just-born child is that he has Down syndrome. Shock, grief maybe, perhaps you would reject the baby, but can you imagine after the shock, you change your thinking and determine to devote yourself to loving and protecting that child for the rest of his life? Holly Simon did that, and she's written a book about it. It's simply called I Am Who I Am. Holly Simon is in the studio with me and her 13-year-old son, Nate, who's looking dapper with that hat. Hi, Nate.
Hi.
Good to have you aboard.
Thank you.
So, Holly, let me ask you, before Nate was given to you as a gift, as a child, what was your thinking about other people who had children with Downs or had abnormalities?
I actually never thought about it, truth be told. I had already had 4 children. Nate is our 5th. And I'd seen children in the neighborhood, and but I just treated them as people. I never thought of them as being different.
So you were predisposed then to more appropriately having a response to it.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that there were people that were different in our world.
But you did feel the shock.
Well, let me fix this. It wasn't my shock. It was the doctors and the nurses.
They were quiet. You could see in their eyes.
I was
they were
looking
saying,
for anything.
I'm sorry.
They said they were sorry. So I think if they had handed me a baby, it would have been my choice. And I don't know how I would have reacted. I assume I would have reacted the way I did with the other kids. Loved him as I do, instantly. But unfortunately, they said, Holly, your baby has Down syndrome, and we're sorry. And then no one gave me eye contact, and nobody would speak. And then there's this mourning that you're brought into that you didn't invite yourself.
What prompted you to whisper into his ear? What did you tell him?
Wow. Okay. Boy. All right. 13 years ago, it was actually my husband that noticed that Nate had Down syndrome just by looking at him in the little bassinet. When he was born, he didn't make a sound. So immediately as a mom, you're like, please cry, say something, do something. And my husband walked over to me and he whispered, Holly, I think our son has Down syndrome. And again, the sorries came, the head down, the no eye contact. And they eventually wrapped him up and handed him to me, just like they did with my other 4. And immediately I felt this incredible love and this incredible mother bear instinct kicked in. And I knew nobody would ever say sorry about him or any one of his friends.
And what did you whisper?
I whispered into his ear, Nathaniel, I will love you and protect you every day of your life. And that grew into protecting every one of his friends as well.
Nate, that's a pretty good thing that your mom said about you.
Right.
Now, you don't remember her saying that, but she has clearly shown you love for the past 13 years.
Okay.
How does she do that? What kinds of things did she do?
She loves me. She's my favorite mom.
Yay.
Out of all his moms, you're his favorite.
And she has a really gorgeous earrings.
Nice.
Yeah, well, she's a woman of great style. So, why did you feel compelled to write a book? Why did you feel compelled, by the way, to start a foundation, basically called the same thing, I Am Who I Am Foundation?
That's exactly what it's called. Well, I noticed that there was such a difference between raising my other 4 children and what they received in this world and what children like Nate and his peers and friends receive. And there was a gigantic gap. So I started to write a blog, and the blog was merely about loving and accepting and understanding and hopefully educating. And then the blog started to grow, and somebody had come up to me and said, you've changed my life. You've changed the way I look at people in general. And I thought, I must be onto something. Truly, by being kind, asking someone a question that you might not normally talk to is so important in our world. We have gaps in so many places in our world. One place where it shouldn't be is with these magnificent children. They don't get what other children receive, and it takes a strong voice and a leader to make sure they do.
He has more need maybe than another child for love, and you're giving it. Do you think you may love him more than you, I'm not going to say more than your other 4, but do you think that you have that kind of unbounded wellspring of love that comes out that
That's a great
is
question.
Very unique for him?
That's a great question, and I suppose depending on who asked me, I would maybe sock them or tell them that love is the same. Love is the same for all your children. The difference is that you become a fierce warrior and an activist. So the love maybe is a grander love. And I truly think when Nate came into our world, he showed all of us, especially the whole Chicagoland, that there's just great love to be had by kids like Nathaniel and his friends, but it's a protecting kind of love that you don't want anyone to ever hurt them.
Nate, do you like Nate or Nathaniel for
I'm
Nate?
Nathaniel.
Would you rather be called Nate?
Yes, please.
All right, I'm going to call you Nate.
What do
from
they
now
call
on.
you in the city?
The mayor.
Wow. With that hat, you look pretty dapper. Could be a mayor, in fact.
Thank you.
Nate and Holly, thank you very much. Let's remind you one more time
Thank
about
you.
the website. By the way, we have it up on the screen. There's a dash in there. I am dash.
Right.
There is a dash in
Correct.
there?
It's iam-whoiam.com.
And there it is. There she is. There's the cover of your book, and book available, I suppose?
Yes, at lulu.com. Flying off the shelves.
All right. Well, there'll be a few more to catch them as they fly.
Thank
for
you.
watching this. Both of you, thanks so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Let's take a break right now. I'm Bill Mahler. This is CLTV News, and we will be right back.
On the